One of your greatest and most powerful gifts, Scorpio, is your incisive ass intuition. And when the world starts getting a little too fast and a little too loud, it's easy to lose sight of that. And Spirit is offering you some guidance this month to bring that back into balance. Hey Scorpio, welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline, if we haven't met before. Here on this channel, we use a compass of courage, curiosity, compassion, and creativity to get where we want to go by being exactly where the fuck we are. And Spirit has some good medicine for you, Scorpio. We're going to get into your cards and the story of your month in just a second, but we got to start with your orientation point. The North Star that Spirit is offering you to come back to again and again when you are like, what do I do about this situation? Or what's the next step? Here's what Spirit offers you. Withdraw. It makes sense. We are in the second half of the winter season, and this card is connected to winter. It's, about coming back to ourselves. It's about marshaling our resources. And it's really interesting because I've been reading the fixed signs today. So your fellow fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and you all have a vibe in common. And Spirit has been having me offer each time, and here it is again, like these watchwords I've been using for myself, which are slow, easy, organic, pleasurable. If the things that I'm doing are not aligned with those things, then it's a sign for me to make an adjustment to the point that that is possible, because I recognize that we are living in the modern 2022 capitalist hellscape where it's hard to withdraw. It's hard to say, oh, you know what, no, like I know I could or should be, working or taking action or thinking about that thing, but instead I'm going to come back to myself and pay attention to myself. But Spirit is they're being very direct in saying it will, like, literally and figuratively pay off. We haven't pulled your tarot cards yet, but I'm sure that we'll see the visual confirmation of that. It will literally and figuratively pay off for you to create space and time and a safe container for yourself. So, as I said, I know that you can't necessarily go on a retreat and withdraw from everyone and everything completely, but what you can do is create the sacred container for silence, for reacclimating, recalibrating yourself, finding out what your inner voice sounds like. And listen, Spirit said, as soon as I said that, that when they start tuning in, they're going to hear a lot of different voices. And it's like, yeah, because your mind is talking, your body's talking, your anxiety's talking, your worries are talking, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's talking. But we're trying to hear that deeper voice, that intuitive voice that speaks in a whisper. It doesn't grab you around the throat the way anxiety or depression or etc. do. So those aren't your intuition. If you're questioning, like, well, what is my intuition? How do I know what sounds like me and what me feels like? A, that's a great sign that this is work you want to be doing. B, one of your clues is when your intuition speaks to you, even when it says something that you don't want to hear, like this relationship isn't going to work or whatever, there's a calm and a quiet that comes with the voice. It's not, oh my God, I think he's cheating on you. Your intuition doesn't talk like that. Your intuition is pretty simple and straightforward, and it is calm. It comes as like a download. It's like a knowing, like, oh, this is so. I'm not going to get that job. Like I said, I'm using these examples where it's like the negative, because usually we think about intuiting things we want to know. And I'm giving you this example because it's like, well, usually that thought would come with sadness or with some weight or whatever. But when it comes through intuitively that like, oh, that thing is not going to happen or that's going to fall through. It's just like, oh, that's going to fall through. Oh, huh, okay. And then you proceed and go on with your life, and then the thing turns out to have fallen through, and you're like, oh, I thought that would happen. Okay. So, finding your calm, finding your balance, finding your silence, and creating a sacred container for it, even if it's literally 5 minutes in the morning, right after you wake up, before you go out to meet your roommates or the kids or the world, or 5 minutes before you go to bed after everybody else is asleep, or whatever. 5 minutes in the middle of the day that you can steal in the bathroom. I don't care. But you need that time for you. And even if you don't know what you're doing with that 5 minutes, even if you're like, I don't even know what meditation is, or I don't want to meditate, creating the container and saying to yourself, to your body, to your spiritual guides, to whomever you want to talk with, to yourself, your higher self, your deep self, whatever. I want to hear you. You have information, you have advice for me, and I haven't been able to hear it because I can't hear over my thoughts, over other people's thoughts, etc. But I am creating this time and space for us, and I will show up every day. Again, even if it's for 2 minutes. I will show up every day because I'm worth it, and because I know, because the crazy lady on the internet told me so, that it will pay off for me to tune in and turn on my intuition. Okay? Okay. So now let's get into the story of your month. The month of February for my Scorpio friends, Spirit. Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising and Dominant people. Spirit, what do Scorpios need to know this month for their highest good? Their greatest sense of joy, peace, comfort, abundance, security. Scorpio in the month of February. Spirit, what do they need to know about the present? Anything they need to know from the past? Bring awareness to for their best ultimate future. How can they move toward the most secure, joyful, abundant, peaceful future, Spirit? That's what we want to know. How can Scorpio have the best month, the best February possible? What do you want to bring their awareness to for their highest good? Okay, got some bonus cards here, Scorpio. Let's see what we got. I wish I could show you my kitty, Isis. She curled up right in front of me. She hates to be held, so I'm not gonna do that. Respect your boundaries, Isis. But she looks awfully cute, for the record. She's a lovely gray lady. You can see her on my Instagram if you want to know. Okay, let's get into your month, Scorpio. February, beautiful cards to start. Jeez. Okay. Wow. Withdraw. Hey. Wow. You have some beautiful cards here, Scorpio. Wow. Holy shit. Okay. Let's talk about it. Center of your reading. Mama? It never fails. Like, she's a magical ass cat. It's kind of a, nope, couldn't even see her tail. Okay. She's a magical ass cat, but that means that she always wants to be like on the cards. I'm so sorry, Mama. You may not be on the cards. Okay. Center of your reading. Thank you for bearing with me, Scorpio. Strength crossed by the star. Look at these beautiful, beautiful women here. Their vulnerability is their strength. That's what these two cards have in common. So, starting here. Standing with your lion, lovingly, compassionately, being with yourself, being with depression, being with anger, being with confusion, and being with them lovingly, gently, compassionately. Allowing worry to be there, allowing doubt to be there, instead of villainizing them. You know, like, we often talk about, like, think positive and, like, name it and claim it, and those are good things. Don't get me wrong, don't think negative, that's not very helpful. And the negative emotions that we experience, again, doubt, anger, depression, confusion, whatever, they exist inside of us. They are offering us something. Now, they may misguide us because we may trust, as we were discussing earlier, our anxiety because it's louder than our intuition. And that'll take us down, I won't say the wrong road, but a road that is not nearly as pleasurable as the road that being in alignment with ourselves, or going against the grain, even though it's scary because we know that this is what's real or true or right for us. That is going to be the better road. Even if there's the more initial discomfort, it's like there's long-term joy and pleasure and comfort for short-term early discomfort of being with yourself. Withdraw, be with you. Take this last bit of winter to do what winter does, which is like break down, decay, decompose everything to its most basic elements so that it can nourish new growth. Which brings us to your crossing card. Star, look at her, nourishing new growth. Look at these little tributaries, look at these little streams she's creating by sharing herself vulnerably. Strength gives you the ability to be vulnerable, and vice versa. The star is about hope after confusion or after a dark time. And the past, the hanged one, confusion, doubt, hung up, not moving forward, seeing things in a totally new light, and that reorients your fucking journey. It's like, well, now that I see things this way, or now that I have transformed and become this, things necessarily need to change and be adjusted to match my new perspective, my new evolution, my new understanding. There's a lot of choices, a lot of options. 7 of Cups. Now, how can you take all these options, all these talents, all these dreams that you have, and create them using what you already have on the table? This is what's going on inside of you. This is how it's manifesting. The magician is a person who does have a lot of divergent talents, a lot of divergent interests, and yet, they're number one. They take each element they have on the table and they intersect it in their own unique way. So you have divergent talents and gifts. Maybe you happen to tap dance and be interested in politics. And now, your magician thing is making tap dance TikToks where you talk about politics. I don't know. That's up to you. You're the magician. But I'm just saying there's a way of putting these divergent options and opportunities together in a totally unique way that is suited to you. And the magician is a card that speaks of kind of being a lightning rod for inspiration. And embodiment is really fucking important when you're a lightning rod. You want to bury the cable. We can get shocked by new information, new downloads, literally and figuratively. We can be shocked, hit by lightning. But if we are rooted, if we have buried the cable, if we're grounded, then we can create something amazing with that charge, right? So withdraw. Tend to your soil and your roots. Tend to the basics, the fundamentals. Slow, easy, organic, pleasurable. Spirit is now using the word dilated, like time dilation, where it feels like, whoa, time feels like infinitely wider and longer when I'm living presently. When I'm here in the moment, infinite possibilities become available, versus when I'm projecting into the future where it's like I have a one-track mind. Literally, I can only focus on that. I'm not even present for what might show up or be available to me or I have access to because I'm over here. Come back. Be open. It feels like something is going to come through this month that is kind of surprising. Well, I didn't expect this idea or this invitation, and yet because I created the room for it, and Spirit's being punny and saying, because I created the womb for it, haha, Empress, who is often shown as pregnant because she's symbolic of receiving and the ultimate creative and just sitting and waiting and being comfortable in being, resting in your worth, resting with patience and the fact that like things are developing and being created, right? Making room, creating that container and that space to receive, create space to receive more than just like information or clarity. It's like it helps you receive support and money because you are creating a container to support yourself. We get what we think we deserve. And when we take steps to upgrade what we think we deserve, like taking care of ourselves, putting our well-being before our productivity, or, etc., and so on, the world responds to us. Our reality shifts to reflect the inner reality that says, I'm not gonna deny my own wishes so that this other person can be comfortable. Or I'm not gonna say that it's okay for my work to give me this next project without giving me any compensation or time or whatever. I'm gonna speak up for myself. I'm gonna stand up for myself. I'm gonna value myself. And then the world reflects a reality that is more respectful of us, of our boundaries, which feel important, Scorpio. So the Empress, as I said, ultimate creative, ultimate lover, ultimate ambassador for softness, luxury, soft, slow, easy, organic, pleasurable. The Empress is a big fan of these things. In order to have these things, we have to have strong boundaries. And that's part of why Spirit has given you that withdrawal card. What feels like me? Curl up with yourself so you can know what feels good, what doesn't feel good, that you get so intimate with what you feel like that when somebody feels invasive or abrasive or etc., that you notice it right away and respond to it. Whether that's to put up a boundary or to detach or whatever, have a conversation, that part is up to you. Your free will is everything. When you do that, here's your future. You, Queen of Swords, stating your needs, your boundaries clearly. And also I'm feeling some of you are writers and speakers, and it's like there's an upgrade in your voice that comes when you let this lightning rod of inspiration hit you and go deep into the ground and start powering up the whole fucking town, right? Queen of Swords. Massive, massive energy, massive truth, integrity, a great boundary creator, a great line drawer. And what does that lead to? 10 of Pentacles. Wealth, support, creating more money and more safety and more resources than you thought possible. And you might think that by cutting certain things or people off, it's going to do the opposite. And it's like, Spirit's like, nope. Counterintuitively enough, cutting certain things and people off that do not meet your standards leads to greater wealth, literally and figuratively. Energy around you, 4 of Wands, divine home, divine partnership, happiness, homecoming, stability. I mean, these are the cards people want to get, especially when it comes to home and family. Home, family, partnership. There's plenty for everyone and everyone's welcome. It's a beautiful, beautiful energy. Now, don't overthink it. Spirit has a word of advice for you. Again, this is a beautiful ass reading. Don't overthink it. One potential card, something that could happen, is you could make this all bigger and darker and heavier and more complicated than it needs to be. Because, I relate to Scorpio placements myself. You're a Plutonian motherfucker. You think deep thoughts. You think dark thoughts. You think hard thoughts. It's part of what makes you strong. But bring your softness to your hard thoughts. Again, ironically, counterintuitively, that will create wealth and abundance and softness and pleasure. Bringing softness to the hard thoughts. Bringing boundaries to your soft places. The key. Bringing things into balance. And 3 of Pentacles involves sharing. Like, hey, this is what I need from you. Hey, would you like to do this together? Hey, how about we try it like this? Bringing other people into your process once you have found your balance is going to create that that happy community / home environment, because I want to say, reminder that family can be blood and family can be chosen. So it's like I can be creating a family and a community with people that I'm not related to at all, but they are my family. You know what I'm saying? Once you have found your balance, your boundaries, and that is a continual process and a practice, bring your people in. Bring the ones you love in. And also the Three of Pentacles involves sometimes asking for literal professional assistance. So if you are working on a business and you need a coach, or if you are working on yourself and you decide you want to find a therapist, or if you are doing a lot of self-reflection and divination and you decide to get a reading from somebody, that's what the Three of Pentacles is about. Like, bring someone else in to kind of look at what you've been doing and go like, hey, have you thought about maybe adjusting this or doing that? Like an editor, if you're a writer, bringing in an editor, or, you know, just somebody to read through it and give you their opinion. So bring in some expert advice once you know, okay, this is what my voice and my truth and my alignment looks, sounds, feels like. Now you can come look and help me adjust. And that's going to take things to a whole other level. So you have a lot of like irony and beautiful confluences of events, and one of them is bringing you into balance then brings you into balance with other people. We love to see it, Scorpio. I'm very curious how this is hitting you. Does that make sense? Does it not? Ask questions, leave comments, tell stories. I love to hear them. And if you want to help support the channel, like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, send to a friend, subscribe if you vibed. All of these things are super helpful. And if you ever want to get a personal reading and talk one-on-one, or get an email reading if you're more of an introvert, relatable, the ways to get a reading or support my channel on Patreon, you get free daily tarot card readings, and we do a monthly call-in show live and stuff. It's really fun. All the ways to do that are in the box below. I appreciate you very much, Scorpio, and I hope that the time you spent here pays for itself many, many times over. I hope you have a beautiful and magical month, and if I don't see you in a video before then I will see you in your March reading. Bye, Scorpio.